Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Happy Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this incredible podcast. I know you could have chosen to be anywhere today, but today you decided to be with us. And for that, I am grateful. Well, first and foremost, I want to give thanks to the wonderful sponsors of today's podcast, Favale Memorial Live Streaming. If you and your families need live streaming simplified and redefined, check them out at favale.org. Again, check them out at favale.org. Well, let's jump right into today's topic. I think it's going to be transformational, life changing, and most importantly, empowering for you, your families, and your funeral home. The title of today's incredible episode is called Shaking the Right Hand. Shaking the Right Hand. I got the title for today's topic, well, because as you may know, when you meet new people, when you introduce yourself, when you're in a formal business setting, when you're traveling, it's customary to shake with the right hand. Oftentimes, when some people have too many things in their hand or too many things going on and they're introducing themselves and they still want to be respectful, they'll pull out their left hand and shake. And to the other person, it's kind of like, whoa, you showed me your left hand. When the right hand is the hand that we all know in the business world, as I like to say, closes the deal. Your right hand closes the deal. But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just the left hand or the right hand. It's meeting and interacting with the right people. Because believe it or not, yes, you could be shaking the right hand, but it could be the wrong person. And so I want to empower us today to know who we're meeting with, who we're talking to, who do we have in our circle, who are we connecting ourselves with. And the truth of the matter is not everyone who's licensed and is a professional has your best interest in mind or wants the best for you. And so you as a professional, as a leader in your industry, you have to decipher who has your best interest in mind and who doesn't. So how do you put yourself in the right group, in the right network of people? Well, you know you're around the right people if, number one, this. Something good happens in your life, they root you on. Something good happens in their life, you root them on. It's always give and get, give and get. I've heard friendship and relationships be described as almost like playing tennis. You get the ball, it hits your side, you bounce it back. They get the ball, they hit the side, it bounces back to you. It's always finding ways, opportunities, and doors that can open and benefit both people and the relationship. Especially in business, in our industry, in the funeral business, there's a lot that goes into what we do and who we are. As you've seen over the years, or maybe in your own personal lives or relationship, some of the family-owned funeral home firms have had inter-turmoils. That can happen. Some corporations break apart because of lack of consistency and or lack of integration or agenda. Sometimes they just don't have the same agenda. People don't have the same ideas, morals, or plans. And it causes a fracturing of the funeral home in its core values. And sometimes that is contributed to meeting the wrong people, shaking the wrong hands. I know we hate to admit it in today's world, in today's society, but it's true. Just because they're your family doesn't mean they always have your best interest in mind, which is why you have to be extra careful, extra cautious, extra precautionary. The funeral business is a different industry. It's tradition, it's legacy. It's not like any other business. And we hear a lot of times in today's world when people say family and business don't mix. And yeah, that is true. But when you have a calling in your life for funeral services, you really don't have a choice but to make it work, but to figure out a way where you and your family members can run this beast of a funeral home that's been in your family for generations. And it starts with shaking the right hands, making the right agreements, hiring the right people for the job, doing deep searches into people's morals, people's backgrounds, people's beliefs, really checking in, really digging into who you're allowing to be a part of your team and a part of your family. I don't want funeral service people to stop thinking about just hiring another employee or another staff member. When you hire your funeral home, you need to be considering hiring them as family and as a unit because they are an extension of your brand. And after they connect hands with you, being under your brand and under your funeral home, they essentially connect hands with the community. And that's a powerful statement, and that's a powerful key to what we do, who we are, and what our beliefs are within the industry. I believe it's fundamental for us to shake the right hands. It's in shaking the right hands that we build the future of funeral services with the right people, the right heart, the right mindset, and the right drive that's needed to carry the funeral industry into the next dimension of time. And the only way we can do that is if we can be trusted professionals in our industry. Licensed people, unlicensed people, we're all a unit, we're all a family. And just because you've been in the industry 50 to 60 years, I'm not saying you don't know anything. I'm saying change your perspective. Because although, yes, the funeral industry will always be a handshaking business, the way we shake is changing. And I don't want any of you to get left behind. So really look into it. Really talk to the different generations of people in this industry. Listen to the people who first started shaking hands, who haven't had the opportunity to shake yet, or who have been doing it for their entire lifetime. See how it's affected them, how the funeral industry's changed. Make sure they have your best interest in mind. I heard this quote from a very powerful person in the funeral industry, and he says, it's okay to fire your mentor. It's okay to fire your mentor. Not because they might not have your best interest in mind, but values and the way you're trying to shake hands now may have changed over time. We as people, we evolve, we change, things change. And so our handshake needs to evolve and change with that too. So this week in your funeral homes, as you evolve, as you really look around who's in your circle, the hands you shake and the deals you make, because the deals we make plant seeds for the future, really look at shaking the right hands. Well, guys, I'm your host, Jaden Folks. This is the Millennial Mortician Podcast, a podcast that engraves. I hope you continue shaking the right hands, not just today, tomorrow, but in the years and in the future to come, and watch how far you go in your business and in your future endeavors. I love you guys. Be blessed, stay encouraged, and shake the right hands. Catch you on the next one.